Facebook? Okay, so I was trying to dual stream on my phone and on my laptop, but my phone is currently my hotspot for my internet, so I'm not sure if it's actually working. Okay, so I see that I'm live on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. Okay. I'm just making sure that I'm not still live on Instagram. Okay, I'm not. All right, so I will go on ahead and just do this live here, and then hope that it actually saves and uploads. Otherwise, I will just have to go live on Instagram over there too. So, okay, welcome to day 13 of 21 Days to Magic. Today's topic is all about abundance and how the abundance pool never dries up. Now, I always get a little weary when I talk about things like money mindset, and not enough and more than enough, because it's a concept that so many people struggle with when they're living in not enough. And when you're talking about just making a mindset shift in order to change your physical reality with your abundance, a lot of people tend to get triggered. And then on the flip side of that, the people that understand the mindset shift, who have gone through it, understand that when you're in the thick of it, it feels really shitty, it feels really sucky. But once you master these mindset shifts and these techniques and understand that what you're experiencing in your physical state is simply just a representation of the beliefs that you hold, and you get through the hard stuff, you start to understand how this practice works and living in a constant state of abundance. What so many of us do as humans is we live in a constant state of not enough. But quite honestly, if you look around your house, how many times in your lifetime have you used every single item in your house? I'm going to say probably never, right? There are so many things in and around you all the time that are more than enough, that signify more than enough, but we choose as humans to focus on what we don't have instead of what we do have. So I'm going to touch on 3 things in this training today that are going to kind of help you understand how abundance works and how having an abundant mindset really is a powerful tool. So number 1 is all the abundance that there ever can and will be in the universe is already created, and that number is infinite. Okay, now as humans, we're not meant to understand what infinite looks and feels like, right? But the amount of abundance that's already in the universe is infinite. We just have created like restrictions, we've created resistance to being able to receive and tap into all of it. And yes, guys, I'm aware that I'm in the same clothes as yesterday. I've been driving in the car for like 24 hours. But all of the abundance, all of the money, all of the things that we could ever possibly need. And guys, abundance is not just money and success. I think that so often we just focus on abundance as money and success. And when we constrict, we actually constrict the flow of energy, and we constrict the flow of abundance to us. And abundance can be laughter, joy, taking time to spend with your family. Abundance is everything, and there is infinite of it. But we choose to only focus on one area of abundance, and that's being money or success. But once we start to identify that abundance is all around us, abundance is in the trees, in the grass, in the air that we breathe, our heartbeat, everything that we do and are and around us is abundant. So all of the abundance in the universe is already created. It is neither created or destroyed, right? Like, that's a universal law. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. And it already exists. And the abundance pool will never dry up. It's already out there. So once we can identify that everything that we need to thrive and survive already exists, and we start living in the state of enough, that's how we start to master stepping into the world of more than enough. But we can't just go from living in a state of not enough to living in a state of more than enough until we start to identify that everything we have around us is already enough. Okay, so that's point number 1. Point number 2 is we have this perception that one person's success takes away from yours, or that your success is going to take away from someone else's, and that's simply just not true. Your success and you stepping into your own actually creates more success for the world around you, because you're unlocking the codes for the people who don't think it's possible but see you doing it. And if you're someone who once thought it wasn't possible but you fucking did it people are seeing you freaking do it, you're unlocking the codes for them. So by you freaking showing up and owning the shit out of who you are and walking into your purpose and creating more success for yourself, creating more abundance for your self, you are actually creating more abundance for the world and those around you, because you're unlocking their codes and you're giving them a plan and you're showing them that it's possible. All right? And when someone else starts to see success, it's a natural human tendency to have some sort of envy or jealousy. And the only thing that's really going to up-level you out of that is really mastering your mindset through years of personal development and consistency and showing up. I will be the first person to admit that when I started my network marketing company, there were times where it was really hard to have my blinders on, because I would see someone else having success and I'd be like, well, why am I showing up 10 times harder than her? And, she is showing up significantly less, or, this is a story I created in my mind, and seeing significantly more success. Well, number one, we don't know anyone's full story, right? We only ever see the 5-second snippets that we see here and there of them showing up, right? So we don't know everyone's full story. But number two is, regardless of their success and how fast or slow you may perceive them to be achieving it, it does not take away from your own. The amount of abundance in the world, the amount of success in the world is infinite. We have this perception that, if someone becomes a millionaire, that's like $1 million less dollars that's out there in the world. It's simply not true. It's literally just a belief that the world around us has created for us, that the government, or however we're choosing to believe it, has created for us. But one person's massive success does not take away from yours. In fact, the way to overcome those feelings of jealousy, those feelings of envy, those feelings of why her and not me, are to actually start to celebrate other people's wins. Start getting excited for other people's wins, and then start also getting excited for your small wins. We get so focused on the big goal, the big wins, that we lose sight of the small wins that get us to the big win, right? And then all of a sudden we get to the big win and we're like not impressed by what we're doing at all, and then we're already looking to go to the next big win, right? So we need to start celebrating all of our small wins while simultaneously celebrating the wins of others and being truly and genuinely excited for them. Their success isn't taking away from yours. If anything, there is something in them, there is a code that they hold within them, or a belief that maybe they hold that you don't even know is a limiting belief that you have, that they are teaching you. You just have to figure out what it is. I used to follow this girl on social media, and I used to literally compare myself to her, right? Now, so many people think that comparison is the thief of joy. Now, to an extent, that might be true, right? There's using something to serve you, and then there's getting to the point where you're obsessing over it, right? But I choose to believe that we can actually use the comparison game as a way to help us thrive and to help us grow. And I used to follow this girl on Instagram, and I used to see her seeing this massive success in our organization, and I was like, how is she doing it? And what I realized was that she held a lot of the same traits that I do. She was just showcasing them to the world, while I was keeping them quiet. I was playing small, right? I wasn't playing nearly as loud as she was. So I had to learn that the way she was showing up was the same way that I had to show up on a massive level. Now, that doesn't mean doing the exact same things that she was doing, right? We still want to show up as our own person, but identifying that I don't have to play small, that I can actually utilize someone else that I would compare myself to normally, is actually teaching me a lesson, and then learning that lesson and choosing to grow from it instead of shying away from it, right? So someone I used to have a lot of jealousy towards is now someone I celebrate and look up to and admire so much, and they continue to show me and teach me things over and over and over and over again on how I can grow as a better person and a better leader, a better coach, a better mom, in any area of my life, right? Okay, so the second point is, one person's success does not take away from your own. Your success does not take away from someone else's, right? If someone wins $1 million, if someone becomes a multi-billionaire, that's not $1 billion less dollars in the universe. It's simply just they freaking showed up and they've created $1 billion. There's still billions and trillions and gazillions and infinite amount of dollars and success for you too. All right, so stop saying if her, then not me, because that's not the case at all, okay? And then celebrating those wins and celebrating their wins along the way. And then number 3, and this is one that I kind of struggled with sharing with you guys, but I figured, I'm going to just go for it, and I'm going to just point it out. I think that right now, and I'm going to be very careful with my the way that I'm going to use my words in this, because I think right now, talking about abundance in general right now with everything going on in the world is kind of ballsy to an extent, right? But I think what I'm going to say even more could possibly trigger a lot of people. I think that in the state of the world that we're in right now, we're seeing so many people, get laid off, be on furlough, and we're in this state of, oh my God, what's going to happen? Where's all the money going to go? We're going to be in all of this debt, and all this inflation is going to happen. Now, I understand from a somewhat practical standpoint. No, I don't even understand it from a practical standpoint, because I had this belief when I was younger too, and all my teachers used to be like, what are you talking about? That inflation isn't real. But here's my point, is you guys have heard me in multiple videos, if you guys have gotten up to this video and watched all the previous ones leading up to it, that the amount of money or the amount of success that you have is simply just a physical representation of the beliefs that you hold, right? So if we didn't trade money, we would trade goats. If we didn't trade goats, we would trade sandals. If we didn't trade sandals, we would trade fucking carrots, right? Money is simply energy, okay? The fact that the government made up that $1 is $1, they made that shit up. They could wake up tomorrow and say that $1 is really worth $2. Or they could wake up and say that $1 is worth 50 cents. But because they say, oh, the more money that we print, the value of the dollar goes down. No, that's a fucking belief. It's literally a belief. It's not real. Inflation is not real. It's simply just a construct of a belief. The amount of money, the amount of energy that you hold is a physical representation of the beliefs that you have around it. So if you choose to believe that during this time you're going to be broke, you're going to start creating more situations in your life that are going to affirm that belief. If you continue to believe that during this time your business is going to thrive, you are going to create more circumstances that are going to affirm that to be true and that are going to present itself to you to prove that belief, right? Like, what you believe is always being mirrored back to you. The beliefs that you hold are always being proven true to you, whether you think they are good or bad beliefs. If you hold that belief, it's going to be presented to you. And I remember all the time I used to say to my teachers, like when we would talk in social studies, like, inflation isn't fucking real. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just because they print another dollar means that the value of a dollar goes down. Like, a dollar is a fucking dollar, okay? Like, it's simply just because someone made up that rule and we decided as a society to follow along with it, right? So take that for what it's worth. But I encourage you, especially during this time, if you struggle with money mindset and fears of being broke or, not enough, use this as a time to identify those limiting beliefs. Use this as a time to lean in and do work around it. How can you grow from this? How can you thrive from this? How can you take this situation and learn something about it to better prepare for the future, to better mold and shape your beliefs, to be a stronger person, right? Like, this is shit that I'm still learning, right? Like, I have by no means mastered manifestation, like, on an ultimate level. I don't think anyone ever has or ever will. That's not the purpose of us as humans on this earth. But I do know that part of our purpose on this earth is to grow and evolve into the people that God created us to be. And we can't do that if we're always playing small and we're always playing constricted and we're always playing in fear and we're always playing defense. We're always playing, oh, I don't want to do this because I'm in fear of losing X amount of dollars. No. You still have to have a baller-ass offense to win games. You need both, right? So quit playing freaking small. And the more that we focus on the fear and focus on not having enough, the more we're going to create more things that represent not enough. How can we start to live in, I have exactly enough, so that we can start growing into the people that truly believe we have more than enough? Because that's how you create infinite abundance in your life. All right? So, hope you guys took this for what it was worth. I love you guys. I'm going to get this uploaded and recorded for you guys. Hopefully, Facebook lets me save it. If not, I'll screen record it on my phone right now and get it uploaded into my IGTV and up into YouTube.